The journey begins on Canada's west coast, in the province of British Columbia. We're cruising above the Great Bear Rainforest, the largest temperate rainforest left intact on the planet. Here on the Pacific coast, where heavy rain and a moderate climate create ideal growing conditions, trees have been free to grow without natural interruption for hundreds of years. Their immense size makes them commercially valuable. Nearly half these ancient forests have been logged. Many are still under pressure. Deep inside this rare ecosystem, there's an adventure destination existing in balance with the Great Bear Rainforest. We find it in a quiet harbor on Princess Royal Island, 400 miles north of Vancouver. Whether by boat or float plane, visitors get a taste of what's to come simply by arriving at King Pacific Lodge.
Great.
Welcome.
You got this? Welcome. Let me grab that for you.
How are your travels? We'll bring everything inside for you. There's a champagne welcome.
What did you
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the first experience that everybody goes through. It's just landing on the dock. That's the first time they really sense that they're in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
In a place where the nearest road ends far away, manager Ken Beatty's job is to ensure the seamless fusion of nature with comfort.
A lot of work goes on behind the scenes during the season and before the season to make sure we can provide luxury in the wilderness. If I don't have everything perfectly planned out by the first day we open our doors, I'm chasing my tail.
If finding a 3-story luxury resort in a remote bay seems unusual, there's an even more uncommon feature. King Pacific is a floating lodge, anchored to the shore.
This is an old Army Corps of Engineer construction barge. And at one time, there were 5 cranes on this barge that would move materials back and forth in order to construct dams.
Michael Uehara, president of King Pacific, took part in its construction.
The construction itself was a mammoth task. We had a marine architect and we had a building architect. Below the waterline, it's all marine code with closed hatches and sealed hatches and, airtight containment and stuff like that. And above the waterline, it's all building code.
From May to October, King Pacific is moored to the island. By operating as a floating lodge instead of on land, King Pacific minimizes its impact on the rainforest. Each year, the vacant lodge is towed 95 miles north to the city of Prince Rupert for maintenance and to safeguard it during the off-season. In season, up to 30 visitors at a time enjoy stays of 3, 4, or 7 nights. Many of these guests experience a transformation.
King Pacific Lodge and the Great Bear Rainforest, let's say, affects people in a very profound way. People come up and say, this place is so rich of life. That's true, but what it also is, it's devoid of all those things we're used to in a city. There's no internet, there's very little phone connections. None of the city matters anymore when you're up here. And I think people reconnect with themselves in a very deep way.
Here, life abounds everywhere. That's what this place is about in so many ways. So many ways you can't even describe it in words. You have to be here to experience it.
Harmony Ziegler is the adventure guide at King Pacific Lodge.
We kind of think of the activities that we do here in 2 different levels, 2 different, totally distinct areas. One, we start right at the sea level here. So just out from the lodge, 5 minutes away is the rainforest, the temperate rainforest.
Every day we're doing 2 different things because we do an activity in the morning and an activity in the afternoon, and they're so different. Today we went fly fishing. We saw porpoises and whales and sea lions and bald eagles, and each excursion is completely different and breathtaking in different ways.
We have done all kinds of things, from sea kayaking to bear tracking and seeing some great bears.
The wildlife that we see here, whales, we could see orcas, humpbacks, a variety of marine life.
A colony of sea lions resides near the lodge, a sure sign that King Pacific blends in with the environment. The lodge offers guests a further dimension on the rainforest. A spectacular flight over the Great Bear takes guests to a nearby river for some of North America's most challenging fly fishing.
Sometimes I call it kind of combat fishing because it's full on. You got a 15-pound salmon in a river on a single-handed rod. You've got to be fighting.
I caught a 26-pound Chinook salmon. We caught some rockfish, some trout, some pinks, about everything that you could have ever hoped for to catch.
Lots of fishing.
Love fish.
To have a property of this quality in an isolated and completely remote location is unique. And it's a uniqueness that I think, we've enhanced.
Michael holds great respect for this region and for its First Nation people, the Gitgat. King Pacific works carefully with the Gitgat to sustain harmony between the lodge, the rainforest, and its people.
Our whole product is about the environment. Without the environment you see around here, it's going to be very difficult for us to have a product. So it is a matter of, self-interest and enlightenment for us to ensure that that product exists for us to make available to our guests.
By striking a balance with the rainforest, the lodge offers guests the opportunity to view one of the rarest animals on Earth, the Kermode, or spirit bear. King Pacific relies solely on native Gitgat guides, like Bruce Reese, to help guests view the bear.
Because he generally pops out and comes down on the beach early in the mornings. It's not a guarantee that you'll see him the first day.
Some estimate there are only 400 spirit bears, all living solely in this region. A recessive gene in this black bear subspecies produces its creamy coloration.
We're going to actually do a tasting menu tonight, so sweet. Everyone gets to try a little of everything.
Back at King Pacific, head chef Perry North and his assistants prepare gourmet meals, fusing modern cooking techniques with local methods.
Basically, you use what local knowledge, how to use the things that are there, how to cook certain types of salmon, how to use certain types of berries, different flavors you get from them. There is natural plants you can use in cooking as well. Juniper, there's wild juniper, cedar even sometimes for certain flavors.
Wow. So you have to just shut up your house and everything every time they come through. The food is incredible, I have to say. Starting with breakfast all the way through dinner, there's a lot of it, and it's absolutely delicious. It's like 5-star dining.
The whole table just
It was quite pretty.
I think the lodge raises the bar on luxury resort, wilderness facilities. Clearly was a 5-star setup from the word go. The staff was excellent. The food was incredible. The setting, is hard to imagine anything any better.
When it comes time to depart King Pacific Lodge, no one leaves unchanged by the experience.
One of my guides, Norm, says, when the guests get off the plane, you shake their hands. When they leave, they give you a hug. It's simple, but it's absolutely true, and it happens to every single person that comes to visit King Pacific.